they fucking had like the Ninja Turtles one.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? No one knew how it worked. But I walked over, I'm like, oh, hot shit. And I turned it on. I started playing the arcade game.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, how the fuck did they do that?
It's fucking great.
It's the best, man. I have the Pac-Man one.
Yeah, I know.
It's the best. I play it all the time.
It's so much fun.
You like retro game? I don't know. You have this weird, like, retro game thing that I like. You're obsessed with it the way I am. Like, it's just so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I always loved it. I mean, like, Nintendo 64 was like the big one, was my favorite, was always going to be my favorite.
Chris, are you recording? Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Hey, everybody. Anyway, welcome. Hey, everybody. It's Millennial Stoner. I'm Joe Winchell. I am a Millennial Stoner. You're hearing this episode. As of right now, we are recording this in April? It's not but when you're going to be hearing it will be May. So hopefully we're going to try to predict the future on some stuff right now and see what happens. But my guest for this week is a very dear friend of mine, an old friend of mine, and I'm really happy to have him on here. Mike Fales, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
I don't have an applause sound. I don't have any sound effects or drops. One day I'll be able to be like Mike Fales. Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Just doing sound effects?
How are you? Yeah.
That's what it is. That's how you communicate now? Great. I'm glad we're doing a fucking podcast. Can't hear you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, dude. I love you. I love talking to you. This goes all the way back to those times when we were smoking weed in my room and watching Live Aid for 3 hours straight. Just Live Aid. Not even the Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
No.
Because you realize after the second time you watch that movie, it's like, it's really just the last 20 minutes of that movie.
And mainly,
everything else is
we
bad.
never watched like the whole Live Aid either. It was just the Queen part.
Yeah,
it was like, I would always ask you, or you would just put it on. Because it was nice.
I would put it on I would be stoned when you would come in and you'd be like, hey, and I'd be like, hey,
yeah.
I'm a pal. It would never get old. It would never get old
No,
with us.
It's great.
It's so high. I'd just be sitting there being like, and you're like, can we play it again? And I'm like, yeah, we can play it again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
One more time.
I remember there was one time where you turned to me like, can we watch it? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I was finally like,
it was like fucking 3 in a row or something.
Like, Mike, no.
Just what about the end part?
We can watch other concerts, Mike. We can watch other concerts.
Queen Live Aid.
But it came out of like, I wanted to start doing a podcast around that. And I remember talking to you and I tried to do it, but I am so like technologically retarded. Like I try. I'm not one of those people that like just says, I don't know how things work and like never tries.
Yeah.
I just try and I just can't figure out a lot of those little things. I am slowly now. Like I'm less retarded than I was before.
Yeah, but I mean, in that aspect, like in terms of like that stuff, when you really know like nothing about it, it's tough to like try and find like where do you dip your toe in first
It's
and
so
then
hard.
like try
Some
and
of this
expand.
shit it looks complicated. I know it's like, oh, it's more complicated than
But
it looks.
it's
I'm
not.
like,
It's
yeah,
like,
but it doesn't help me that it looks terrifying.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, most of it's like just like 2 YouTube tutorials away, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I got this.
Yeah,
and
those 2 YouTube tutorials are fucking 45 minutes a
I
piece.
know.
It's like,
I need to know it now.
You're talking to guys who watch lawns being cut on YouTube.
Oh.
Like,
That's some stuff right there, man.
Dude,
you
got
want to
me
talk
hooked on that
satisfying? Oh, if you got all right, so
Good.
because I forget that we're not just talking to each other.
No, well, I say it on every episode. It's called Millennial Stoner. People are like, "Is it a podcast about weed?" I said, "No, it's
No.
I get stoned and have conversations with people. I'm
Yeah.
stoned. I'm having a conversation with my friend, and I think you're an interesting cat.
Yeah.
I think you're also funny as shit. Just so you guys know, Mike also does stand up and everything. Mike's actually, we're gonna get into this. You're actually the guy that made me start stand up.
Yeah.
You pushed me into it. We're gonna get to that. But this is
you owe me everything.
Yeah, I do. I have nothing. I have nothing to show. I have a half-assed podcast right now.
Yeah. This will do for now.
Yeah. You're a guest. This is your payment. Yeah, so the conversation, we always had good conversations. Like I said, we used to watch Live Aid and then talk about Live Aid and just and that was kind of the idea. We would start it then. But
yeah, we were going to do movies at one point.
Yeah, at one point I was going to try to do a wrestling podcast. I went through like, I was just so like creatively fatigued. Like I need something else to do. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll do a whole thing about reviewing wrestling matches. Then I went further with it. I was like, no, I'll just review commentators because I wanted to get real deep because I'm doing commentary on commentators. That's what I'll do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like just talk. You know, like I know a lot of cool people. I think like a lot of interesting cats. I mean, like I don't know. I know some stupid people. I definitely do.
Yeah, but like total individuals. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
know
mean? Like,
very unique, crazy. Some less crazy than others. Really creative people. I know artists. I know musicians. So my goal is I'm starting with mainly comedians right now, but I just want to bring on everybody and
yeah,
everything, and just have conversations. I know that sounds so Joe Rogan-esque, but I'm like, whatever. My name's Joe. I deal with it.
yeah.
Like, um,
Millennial Joner.
you brought up something fun because you did get me hooked on watching people cut fucking grass on YouTube.
Yeah, there's really something
Is that
about.
like ASMR shit? Something like that.
No, it's not even because I turn the volume down because it's like usually it's like
You just like the visuals. I
usually
do
it's
too.
like the mower's really loud and I'm like, oh well, I don't want to just I
The
don't
perfect cutting of
yeah,
grass.
it's weird if it's like
Because that
for
makes.
like
I remember
a
you told me
long
the first
video.
time you told me that. I'm like, I just pictured you like such a serial killer,
Yeah.
like standing there in your basement with like in like tidy whities, with like face paint on, just like
one light. Yeah.
like it's all tucked back, like fucking
Yeah,
in
it's
hand-
just some weird stuff. But no, I mean it's really like that or like power washing videos. There's something for me. I think
It's
since I was
perfect,
always
like-
a kid
yeah.
of just like I liked when things got clean. My mom always told me there was a commercial and they had like a solution where they took a dirty quarter and they put the quarter in the solution and they took it out and half of it was clean and my eyes lit up. I was like, I always wanted to see that commercial. So I don't know what it is. That's why I just like
It's very
enjoy
pleasing to
yeah,
you.
like
it gives you the
vacuuming or
dopamine.
something. Yes, there's just something satisfying when you see really tall grass be cut. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the secret is.
My thing is, I
But-
like watching explosions, pimple popping, and cum shot compilations.
Pimple popping. That's like one where it's like
But that's another one. Yeah,
Yeah, or like there's that show Dr. Pimple Popper. It's fascinating when you
Isn't some of
see
that fake?
somebody what? No, man. There are these
Okay.
people that have like fucking
cysts and shit. No, I've seen it.
huge cysts and like, like a big
You go down a rabbit hole. of that
bumpy
shit sometimes,
nose
you
and
can't help
stuff. Yeah, I mean it's fascinating, but like to a degree, I'm like, you can only take
it.
so
Oh,
much.
it's definitely like
you
I've
know.
definitely watched a few and been like, I feel sick.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely feel. I
Yeah.
feel sick. I just ate.
Or
Pizza
like
Hut,
when they
not
pop like the big pimple and the people recording are like, oh my god, it smells. And
Oh
that's
my
when I'm like,
God.
oh, okay.
good. Yeah, because
all
you
right.
imagine how it smells and
Oh
shit.
yeah, it's it's so gross.
Oh my god! Like, oh, it probably smells like sewage and
Oh, yeah.
dried cigarettes.
Gross. But yeah, I mean
Anyway,
every once in a
everybody
while,
stop tuning in now. No one's listening. Like, oh, they think.
Yeah, because they're on YouTube being like tall grass being cut
Cut,
while mower pops pimple at same time.
Exactly.
I don't know if that will come up with any results. It's
I
a
used
pretty
to, I watched
specific
that.
search,
I'll
but-
watch. I got. I remember the ASMR. The first time I saw like the ASMR videos or what that it was just sound, right? Remember I was at a girl's.
Yes. Anyway, it was just. I'm taking a huge shit. Oh my god, it's so big. It's such a big shit. Yeah, it's just like fucking weird. Like,
But it's weird because I do find it like I remember the first time I heard it, I was like high. I remember sitting there. I was in it was like my neighbor's house. I was like literally me and like 5 like girls that I knew, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, they're like ASMR. I'm like ASMR, and I just like really stoned and I'm like sitting there. I just heard the and I'm like like I was super like
Do you know what it
I'm
stands for?
I don't know what it what does it stand
No,
for.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's like audio.
Yeah.
Chris, what's it stand for? Do you know? Ass mark. 10 points to Gryffindor. Autonomous. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous.
Just
it's everywhere.
Just call it the whisper finger
But,
tap
like,
thing.
10-year-old kids know about ASMR. It's weird.
10-year-old kids know a lot about a lot
Well,
of
the
stuff
internet
that
has
we
made
don't
them
know.
very aware of everything.
I
Remember when we didn't know
I
shit?
worry.
What do you mean you worry?
I think it's just funny because like we'll say like 2 generations before us or something like I was,
Talk into the
I
mic,
was-
man.
my mind
You're
was
literally like this. Anyway.
but like the older people that were like oh the kids these days are I don't know why they're southern but it's
they're
just like
always I do the
kids
same.
these days are they're gonna ruin the world and stuff like that. I'm really fucking worried and like I'm not even old yet but
Yeah.
I'm really worried about the younger kids. Like
What
we
sense?
grew
don't-
up in like the
We had the half.
it was the transition.
That's what was so.
it
We were the
was-
guinea pigs. I
yeah.
make a point about this all the time. I'm fascinated by like generational differences.
Yeah.
And ours is fascinating because I mean, at one point, like, not that there's like we were the last generation. Like one day there's a weird meme I saw where it says one day you just played outside for the last time and didn't know it, and I was like, fuck that.
Wow.
That hit me. Like,
Wow.
because we were the last generation to play outside in a lot of ways.
I do see kids still ride their bikes and stuff, which is cool,
They
but
ride their bikes with love they're getting Pokemon.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I
Which is
mean,
fine. Like, listen, I look at it. You know what it is? I just get jealous. I'm like, wish I had all this cool shit when I was a kid. You know, like it's true. Like some of the stuff I look at, and I'm like, I wish I had some of this shit.
yeah, but
But
you could have it now too, like
I
as
don't.
an
Yeah, but
adult.
it's not nearly as satisfying.
Yeah.
You know, like it now because anything I get from when I was a kid, it's collectible. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's all
it's an
collectible.
on a shelf
It's on
kind
a show.
of
I don't
yeah.
play with it like I used to. I don't
Mm-hmm.
cover my Ghostbusters figures in slime.
No.
No, I'd kick you in the throat. What are you doing?
You leave them on the shelf.
You opened it? Fucking
Uh,
yo, Michelle, your niece is running around, yo. Motherfucker, Egon's not mint condition anymore. It was the tab on top. And she broke the tab. The fucking little fucking hanger tab. Try not to curse in front of the kid. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine, you little fucking cunt.
Yeah,
Like,
but no, it's true. But I also have seen like because I'll go like when I go to Walmart or something to pick up a couple things, stop in the electronics section, always look at the games, and then I'll go through the two aisles,
yeah, I do that too, till to this day.
Lego aisle, and the action figure aisle, and usually it's just a zoop zoop just to
See if something catches your eye.
But I've been seeing they've been re-releasing the older toys. Like they
Yeah,
have like the Ghostbusters that are like
the real
but it's
Ghostbusters.
all the same box and stuff like
I
that.
bought one
and
of those.
stuff
I
like,
saw it and I bought it.
yeah. So, but then that's like the collector value of it. If it's the exact same thing, it's just got
It's a replica.
2022 on it, but it's made by the same company and it has all the same parts as the original one. That's when it's kind of like why would you spend $1,600 on that one?
The original one,
when
we can just get the
yeah.
same thing brand
Yeah,
new.
and
It's
the
like,
box isn't yet like the
Well,
plastic
that's
isn't
if-
yellowed from 40 years
Yeah.
of being in the sun or something. Like it's
that's
I
like
don't know.
anybody's like, do you want? It's like I get a if I have some collectible stuff, you know that, and
Yeah,
I usually
me
go
too.
for the fucking new stuff. It looks good.
Yeah.
Plus it's some of this collectible market stuff. I mean, like sometimes I'll go to like I'll go to like some comic book store or like be driving around and I'll see some like action figure store or something catch my eye. I'm like, oh, I'll stop in for a second and see, just poke around.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, oh, original something in a box that I remember. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Yep.
Then you look at the price and you're like $500, $1,000. Like,
Crazy.
I don't love it that much. Like
No.
that's where my fandom stops. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
obsessed the way that people are.
No.
And I've also softened on my like. I used to be such a fanatic about certain things. Now I'm just like, I don't care because people get so fucking angry. I just recorded with Noel Rodney Jr. before, and we were talking about how like every nerd is just
a month ago.
Yeah, a month. Oh, before a month ago now. We were talking about how like fucking nerds are just angry little sour little men.
Yeah, but
Nobody likes anything. You have so much cool shit.
I don't have Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm not bothered by that. Like, if I want to see if people how they are about it or something, it's not in my face. Like I never had a Twitter, like ever in my life.
Really any social media.
I don't know why I never got on that one, but I'm
I
so
have
glad
a
I
Twitter.
didn't because it seems like everything everywhere
Comes from
all
Twitter.
at once. Did you see that movie?
No, we didn't. I don't know why I said we.
Oh. Oh.
But it was good. Well, it's A24.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got some great stuff.
I didn't see. I have to watch X.
What was
We
I
have a
just
show to
talking
do now. What are you
about?
doing later? We can hang out and watch movies.
Yeah, okay.
Want a mouth kiss?
No.
You don't want to do that live on air. I understand. Anyway. But A24 film. What was?
I don't
Just
know.
came out with another one. Got
All
me
right.
off track.
Lost it.
God damn it! You were doing good there. You had this.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm happy to be on the podcast.
I threw him off because I said I was going to mouth kiss him. That's the last thing I remember saying.
My brain's rattled.
Oh man. No, I was talking about fandoms and everything, but basically how
That's what it was.
you were never affected by any of that. You weren't on social media.
No, yeah, I never saw that stuff. But like, if you'd watch a YouTube video or review of it or something, it's always like on the news or something. You're like, so and so took to Twitter and blah 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 took to Twitter. I don't have a Twitter, but I still see everything that I need to see
About Twitter.
in quotation marks on Twitter, on TV, on the news, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know. Who cares?
But that's you're right though. No, but you are. Who cares? Because I was saying before, like
yeah, everybody's
I
got to
remember,
spoil it. Like
certain movies would come out, and I'd be like, I'm really excited to see this, and then people would be like, it fucking sucks, and you suck, and I'm like,
yeah, it was trash. And if you still like the franchise, you're garbage too.
yeah,
Like,
what kind of
why do you have to
mentality
be
is
like that? It's because
It's ruined.
they can just do it without any like repercussions. They can just
Yeah,
like
it's internet balls. That's what I call
yes,
it,
and
internet balls.
yeah,
Because
exactly,
they're
yeah.
never gonna they're gonna
Nobody would go to your house, knock on your door, and say that to your face.
yeah, like, and there's certain
Yeah,
guys like, and you know what else is it? Like, I watch a lot of professional wrestling. Those guys are everywhere,
yeah.
and they are like just fucking. There's a dude I was watching, like a pay per view not too long ago, and there's a guy like that there, and he was loud and he was obnoxious, and we were actually enjoying the pay per view, and he's one of those guys that because we're enjoying it, he has to shit on it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, shut up! I got like real mad at him.
He was there. He was at the place.
Yeah, he was hanging out. I was at a friend's place. Yeah, so like, and he was just like screaming about it. I'm like, what the fuck? No, we were like in someone's living room, not at the venue.
Oh, okay,
We were
okay.
in someone's living room enjoying the pay per view, and it was just like, I hate that. Like, I think anytime people enjoy it, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of crap out there. I'm not disputing that. There's a lot of crap out
Yeah.
there. But like, does it really harm you so much if somebody likes a movie that you hate?
No,
Why? Everybody's so precious about their nerddoms is the problem.
I don't know, and it's also not
I'm a
all the
Ghostbusters fan. Do you think Do you think that the Hollow version, the Hollow remake, went over well with everybody?
oh the
No, it was horrible. The fucking press about it was bad, and people came out and said horrible, like misogynist shit about women about it.
yeah. Well,
It
that's
was
like
just a bad movie,
it's a
though.
bad
It was
movie,
just a bad movie,
and it didn't ruin anybody's life.
but then
And
people are like,
didn't,
it ruined the franchise. How did it ruin the franchise?
And the problem is now the things that come out, they don't hold the weight like movies that you like.
They
It's
used to. Yeah, you're
we're
right.
all riding on nostalgia. Like
It's all nostalgia.
Ghostbusters 1 and 2. It came out back in the day, and I saw it, and I rented it on VHS, and
All
it was
this-
the best thing that I ever saw. And if they try and do anything to it, or the
Yeah.
Star Wars Disney movies
All
or
the
anything
Star
like
Wars
that,
stuff.
it doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
saw The Rise of Skywalker alone in the theater, and it was fucking garbage. And then I went home. I didn't say anything about it because it
You're
didn't.
like, oh, that was bad,
It,
and then you went
know,
home.
it didn't even ruin my day. I just wasted 2 hours in a
I
shitty
like to
fucking
talk to
movie.
people, but even
like-
I'll you know what? I'll call somebody and talk about it.
Yeah,
But I'll
that-
call somebody and talk about it.
yeah.
You know what I won't do? I won't be like, I'm gonna put this lure out into the internet ocean.
Yeah.
Let's see who's gonna fuck with me on these subjects.
Don't do that.
You know,
'cause
like,
they'll
it-
always bite.
Yeah, it's really I have no patience for it, but like every fandom's got that. Star Wars, you were saying that. I know you're a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah, but like not even a big Star Wars. Like I just liked the movies and I
you're
liked
not,
some
like,
of the
obsessed.
figures and the games are fun.
You wouldn't dress up as a stormtrooper and go to a con.
I've got the helmets. I
I
got
know, you do, you
Stormtrooper,
do.
Boba Fett, and Darth
Yeah, for
Vader.
a casual fan, you have a lot of
Yeah,
Star
but
Wars
I love
stuff.
that
What are you
shit. But it's
talking
not
about?
like I eat, sleep, and breathe it, and I'm not like
Star
taking
Wars is
to
the best thing ever.
forums and chatting with my online communities
Ye-
about Star Wars. I don't know. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it, and that's it. And like some of the movies are like good, and some of them are bad, and I don't know. There's something about it. And I think what it is the nostalgia. It was like when I was
No.
a kid,
Yeah.
I watched it, but like
I have happy memories
Yeah.
of me watching
and
that
when
movie.
they try and remake all these things, 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't hold the same weight.
well, it's
you know?
member berries too, and I was
Well,
talking
yeah.
about. I love Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I
I didn't
recognize
see that, but I've
I
heard
liked
it was
it.
good.
But it's member berries. It's a lot of stuff that doesn't. It's a sort of, I call it. It's like a Force Awakens version of Ghostbusters because it rehashes a lot of stuff from the first movie. But like you said, I have very fond memories of that shit. Okay, and like in that whole member berries thing, I was like, it's not it's not an amazing film.
Yeah.
But it's exactly what I want to see. I just want to be reminded of the first movie.
Yeah, it's like
You
a
know
reminder.
what I mean? I want to see all the guys back together.
2-hour reminder. It's like, remember?
That's what it is.
But did you go out and buy all the toys and
Fuck
stuff? Is it-
yeah.
Oh, you got all the. Oh, okay.
Oh, the original ones?
Well, no. I'm
No,
saying
no, of the
from
new
this
stuff.
movie. Like if they
No,
put.
I didn't. I remember thinking, I remember just thinking I want because the guys are older in it. I
Yeah.
remember just thinking, I'm like, I want the older version of them.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what that was
okay,
one. I'm
that'd be
like, I
cool.
want them because I have like the regular figures.
Yeah.
Now I get them from this. That's the only one. 'Cause that fits my collection. It's not like I was obsessed. Like I have to have everything from that movie now.
Yeah.
But like it was cool to see everything. And I always say, if you're gonna do nostalgia, like here's the thing: if you try to do something different, everybody's gonna shit on you for it. That's what I've learned. Last
Yeah.
Jedi, everybody shit on that movie.
And then I saw Rise of Skywalker, and,
And everybody's like, I
Last
wish they followed up
Jedi-
on some of those last.
Yeah,
Remember the joke of that movie is it starts with the crawl? It starts with the fucking crawl, and it's just like, Emperor Palpatine is alive. And you're like, what happened?
the
what?
dead speak with an exclamation point, and I was just like,
How is it the movie is that bad that quickly?
I don't know, they botched it.
I
But
can't wait to get
then they
attacked
did
by-
like Mandalorian. I really enjoyed.
I was just saying, I like all the
Mandalorian.
spin-off stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird. This has
The
come up.
Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I think what it is when somebody else takes on something, because I mean Star Wars was like big in its own way, like pre-Disney takeover. But
It became big.
you
Yeah.
have to like it was the same thing I guess with like the DC movies and stuff. When you take on this fucking thing and you try and really just put the whole universe out there or something like that,
Yeah.
like you're gonna stumble a couple times. That's why like they had all these movies planned for Star Wars and stuff. And after I think it was like Solo or
Which
something,
again, that movie wasn't bad. It
wasn't a
was,
bad
and
movie.
everybody was like, "I hate it." I'm like, "What's
Yeah.
wrong with it?"
That's when they were like, okay, we gotta. But when you start a three trilogy movie, you're gonna have to finish it. And
That
stuff.
was
But there
yeah.
was a bunch of like there was gonna be like a Boba Fett movie, a
But that's what
Yoda
became
movie,
the show
and then
essentially.
things changed and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like an ever changing thing. But yeah, I mean, think for
But
the most
I
part,
feel like that
it's
was I heard about. I remember when X Men was big. Like when X Men came out, and X Men was fucking everywhere, and then
Oh,
X 2
yeah.
came out, and it was even bigger. I remember hearing stories where they were like, we're gonna do the Wolverine movie,
Mm.
and then after that, we're gonna do the Magneto movie. We're gonna do like a Rogue movie. Everybody's gonna get their standalone films. It was
Yeah.
the first attempt at everything really that we have now, and it failed miserably because the Wolverine movie was garbage. Like,
Oh yeah, I'd never even seen that one. I don't
it
think.
is the fucking stupidest thing. It's not even. I'm like not even from like a. I'm like I know I'm like a dork, but like it's not a good movie by any standpoint.
Mm.
Like, it's weird. That's when everything started taking a dive. That's when everybody, every like,
Which one is that? X-Men
Origins?
Origins. Wolverine.
Wolverine. It's the Wolverine standalone movie. This, and then they made the other movies. But yeah, you're
I
right.
think I've never seen that movie. Tell me if this is the one where he comes out of water.
I think it comes out of water like this in every
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I think he does
Oh,
it
he
in
does
every
it in
movie.
every movie. Oh, okay.
I think he does. That's like the Wolverine thing.
Yeah,
Hulk's gonna smash stuff. Wolverine in the contract. I have
He's
to come
gonna-
out of water.
I have to come out of a bath.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. He did it in some of his other movies. I don't know why.
Aggressively rise
Weird.
from a bath.
He did it. He did it in the Mamma Mia fucking movie. I don't know why he had it in there.
He didn't even have the claws.
I do it. I do it in every movie.
Yeah.
I'm Hugh
Les
Jackman.
Mis. Yeah.
He did it in Oklahoma.
My name is Jean Valjean.
All right, fine. You're talking about theater. We're going to change subjects. So I met you. We're going to talk about Mike Fales for a little bit. I met you because I went to Suffolk. I was a theater student there,
Mhm.
and you actually were friends with my best friend James.
Mhm.
And I just kind of met you. He was like, "Check this dude out," and I'm like, "This guy." I was a real fucking like, "Who's this fucking nerd?" Like,
Bright-eyed and bushy tail.
yeah, and you were like, "Hey, man, I like weed," and I'm like, "All right, I like you." Like, but where
It was
did you?
easy.
So you went to Suffolk.
Mhm.
But you started in theater. So were you always an actor? Did you always do acting?
For most of my life, like not like working acting, but when I was like a little kid, my mom put me in like soccer. I was on like the light blue team and the dark blue team
Oh, you
in
didn't have
soccer.
any names.
No, they were just colors. I don't
You
know.
good at soccer?
No,
Why
everybody
did
was.
she put you in soccer? My
'Cause-
mom put me in soccer too.
I don't know, because I mean, you just when you're like, I don't know. I guess I'm not a parent, but it's like when you're a parent, you got to see what
See what they like?
sticks. Like maybe
Just ask you.
maybe one of my friends was doing it, and they were like, "Oh, sign up for soccer." The moms talk. I don't know.
And you're like,
And,
I don't like soccer in any
No,
way.
well, and clearly it didn't, because like they would always be like running on the field and stuff, and I would always be like, like trying to make people laugh on the field. And they'd be like, "Michael, turn around," and I, like, or like, do something, and I'd be like,
Pick the ball, you
"Bing
idiot."
bong, bing bong." And so after that, we went to go see. There was a theater in like Port Jeff, and we went to go see A Christmas Carol there. And before the show started, the director of the place or something was like, we offer acting classes for these age ranges or something. And my mom was like, oh, mom and dad were like, oh, maybe do you want to try that? And I was like, sure, I'd try that. And that was it. That was my niche.
just
It
clicked,
wasn't
you
the
found
light
it.
blue. It wasn't the dark blue soccer team. It was the acting. And so from when I was 9 up until 17, I would do like however many sessions they had, 2 or 3 sessions a year. It's like a 10-week like class, and you'd
Like
play
an intensive.
games,
And then would you do a show at the end
and
of it?
then you do like a showcase at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd never done like an actual show. So when I was in 7th grade, I wanted to audition for the school show, and they were doing Fiddler on the Roof Junior. And
You're Jewish, so you should be in that
well,
show.
I wanted to be. There was a character. I like looked it up. There was a character that didn't sing, but he had a couple of speaking roles, and he wasn't the main guy or anything. And I was like, I think that'll be great. I think that's the way that the way to kind of get me into like a full show, not just like a 10-minute showcase
a
or
real
whatever.
production.
Yeah,
okay.
and so, but I was in chorus and stuff, and I guess like word got to the director that I could sing and stuff. So I went to the audition thinking I was going to audition for this guy, Muddle the Tailor, and he didn't have any singing line or single solo singing songs in the show.
His ensemble.
And so then the director came up and he was like, "Hey, I want you to sing If I Were a Rich Man for the lead."
For Tevye?
And I never heard the song. I didn't research it because I didn't want to be that. I just wanted to be this guy in the
I love
junior.
how you're telling me a story. It's like, so they offered me the lead. I come in.
He just
fresh.
wanted me to sing for it, I guess, because I was in chorus or something.
Were you tall?
No, I was.
You're kind of a tall guy. Were you
I
tall
was in
then?
7th grade. No, I was like a little meatball in like fucking 7th.
Oh,
and
this is
8th
before
grade.
you evened
Yeah.
out?
No, I was like pretty.
Did you
short
go up
and
to this
stuff.
guy where you were like, I want to offer you the lead? Nobody in the history of anything has been like, I don't want that.
Well,
Like-
it wasn't. Why?
How old were you?
I don't know. I was maybe 13.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't prepare for it or anything.
Oh,
So
I get it. All right,
when I went up right before he like hit play on the fucking CD player for the song, I was like, "Oh, can I use the bathroom real quick?" And he was like, "Okay, yeah, just come back." And I walked out and I cried and I left. I had
a lot.
the janitor at the
fucking
school
13-year-old?
was like a neighbor of ours, and I asked if he could take me home and stuff like that.
Oh my
No, he
God,
was cool.
Mike.
He was cool. Like not in a weird way. But yeah, so I shut down after that.
Mike.
I didn't audition for solos and chorus. I didn't do anything. That fucked me up, out But like I still
Get the
did.
fuck
I
outta
still
here.
did the acting classes at Theater 3. Yeah, really.
The janitor, he was, please drive me home. I
Yeah,
can't
I
be.
mean, he was like
this
a
is before cell phones.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, my first cell phone was in 8th grade when I went to Washington, and it was like a fucking brick. It was a big thick brick phone. I don't know, whatever. These kids these days, you don't even fucking know.
You fucking kid shy.
So
Had
then
to walk 16 miles just to jerk off in the snow.
So then I auditioned my first thing because I taught myself how to beatbox. So
Oh yeah, I've seen you do
I
this before.
beatboxed for a vocal jazz song. There was a vocal jazz group that was high schoolers, and they did a Lean on Me, and they needed somebody to
You
do
need
the
somebody
beatboxing.
to be the instrument.
And so I did it. It was super cool. And then the
Wait,
next year,
How, were you just like, wait, I'm sorry, were
What?
you beatboxing? Was it like a rap version of Lean on Me?
it was like I don't know. There's this
Or were
group
you
called
like
Rockapella.
Yeah, I know rock.
Yeah. So no, there was like some people. I don't know. Maybe some people did like instrument sounds or something, and then it was like like vocal percussion or something. It was like.
That's how
And
I
so-
get people to do their
yeah,
special
and so
talents.
it was-
I'm like, I don't believe you.
It
that
was
you can do
cool.
that.
Yeah, that's
No, I've seen you do this before.
yeah. So
I've seen people rap next to you, and I'm like, what the fuck?
that was always the coolest. Like if some at the parties, there were people that were like, I mean, it wasn't often, but like
They're
that
straight
wanted
fire.
to freestyle or something. I'd be like, I can drop the beat for you or something.
Cool white guy
Yeah,
making his way
cool white
through.
guy. Party over here, party over here. Yeah.
Oh,
So then
God.
that got me back into like auditioning for the vocal jazz group the next year. Then that same director.
You're a singer, that's right.
Yeah. So he came back around and they were doing Rent.
Wait, did you get the lead in?
No,
did you
I-
audition?
no,
You never
nope,
did the show?
No, that was it.
Okay,
Boom,
I'm
boom,
sorry.
boom.
I just want to make sure I got that
Oh, yeah.
clear. The
No, that's
janitor
fine.
drove you home, and you
Janitor
never
drove
like.
me home, and that was it. I was out
That's
for
so
a couple
sad.
years.
I'm
I
sorry.
know, yeah.
That was wait. So you just were like, never again.
Nope. No chorus solos, no nothing. I just had this fear that I would do what I did, I guess, then.
Well, I mean, people. It's
again.
the hardest part
repeat it.
about any kind of entertainment thing is the fucking going up there and
Yeah.
doing it in front of people. People like you meet all those people that even doing comedy, and anybody will come up to me and be like, I don't know how you go up there and do it, and I'm not like sucking my own dick here, but I'm kind of just like, it just that's terrifying. I recognize that is terrifying for
Yes.
some people. Like they just cannot
Yeah.
wrap their brain around doing that. From people like you and me, it's really just second nature.
Yeah, but it's still scary for
No,
me.
that's what I'm saying. Like but you have to make that.
But
Even people like
yes.
us have to make that leap at
Yeah.
a point
You
where
gotta-
we decided that this is my comfortable spot. I remember the first time I auditioned for something in high school, I was just like, this is fucking terrifying.
It's really terrifying.
And it's a high school play.
yeah, it's nothing.
And then this
when
fucking
you look
asshole that
back
got
on
it, I was like, I'm better than that guy. This sucks. Now I got the other side of it now.
Yeah.
Jealousy.
jealous.
Theater is nothing except trying, failing, and being jealous of the fucker that got it
Yeah.
over you. That's all it is. That's why I stopped doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's really cool though, man. And so you had like a little journey to kind of get. So you started doing singing and doing the jazz solos.
Yeah,
eventually.
and
Okay.
then they
So
were
when did you start acting?
they were doing Rent. My sophomore year,
Oh
the
boy, you are
second-
so like
the second school in the country to do. They had a junior version that they put out of fucking
So this
Rent.
was new at the time.
This was new. Our school was on.
Is this the one that like ends with like everybody not dying of AIDS? Is
Uh,
that what's junior about it?
some-
What's junior about it?
They cut out like one or
All the
two
gay stuff?
songs. No, the gay stuff, like we had it
stayed the
all.
gay stuff
We
in there?
were on. There used to be Logo, which was like the gay and lesbian channel on cable or
Yeah, I
something
remember.
like that.
Yeah.
And we got interviewed. Our school, they fucking
Really?
came. Yeah, I'm somewhere on YouTube or something.
So am I.
Like a 16-year-old me is being interviewed, and they're like, "Do you
Did you grow up, or is this still Meatball Mike Fales?
this is like pre slim and tall. This is like I'm a little hippie. You
Oh,
know?
is this hippie Mike?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it never really went away.
Yeah, but you're more like,
yeah.
you wouldn't be considered a hippie now. You're talking about how the young kids, no one would consider you a hippie now.
No. Well, no. I don't mean. I mean like hippie.
Oh, like, oh, you got
I
childbearing
mean like my
hips.
hips. Yeah. Yeah. People are always like, girls are always like, I love the dad bods, and it's like, what about a mom bod? What about an hourglass figure and my
Not a man.
time's up? You know.
I have the shape of a pear.
Yeah.
What do I do with this?
So if I was in the 60s, I'd be a little hippie, but so yeah, that was before I slimmed out. But yeah, so that happened, and then that was it. That the fear went away, and I was into it. I was big into it, and I did all the shows in high school and stuff like that, and then went on to do it in college and worked
he did.
out.
I
worked
I
out
saw
well.
you in. The first thing I saw you in was Spring Awakening.
Spring Awakening was the
I
first
hate that show. I hate that fucking show so much.
Yeah.
I really
One of those
do.
things. It's the same show like Rent. Like when I
It's
was
the same- yeah,
when I was doing Rent, I only listened to Rent. I loved everything about Rent, and I sleeped, and breathed Rent. Same thing with Spring Awakening. Now I can't fucking stand both of those shows.
Yeah.
Like I'm over it. I'm way over it.
I like Rent. If you had to ask me, it's like, what do you like? I actually would say I would definitely like Rent better.
Yeah.
It just,
I
you
don't
know what? It's that show, Spring Awakening, just insists upon itself. It's like, look at us. This is theater, and I'm like, this is a German play
And for
about weird shit and sexuality and
Yeah.
jerking off under your desk.
For an 18-year-old, funny enough, my senior year we did Fiddler on the Roof, the big one.
Did you
the
end up
long
playing
one.
Tevye?
No. No, because I didn't. I don't know. Nobody can confirm this, but I used to I smoked like way more weed my senior year because we had an open campus, and I just didn't care or like put effort into the audition, so like I didn't get it. Like so
You were like,
I got
oh,
Perchik, who was the revolutionary. Doesn't matter.
I don't know why I even told you.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. Nobody's asked me about it since, so not that big of a deal. But yeah, but then going into college and having Spring Awakening be the show, I was like, this is like so raw and real and theater, and that character chart that you had to do. I didn't know that I wasn't a method actor. Like
It's not
when I first went into college, and when I had to do all those things
We
and
all did.
backstories and stuff, I
I was gonna
really,
ask you
really,
about this. I'm glad you brought
I
this
really, really tried. But then by like the second show, I was like, oh, like for me,
Did
for
you tell
me
me the story
personally,
about how like you went to your grandfather's grave and like cried?
Yes.
And then, why
Yeah.
did I do that?
because I couldn't. That's what I
You're
thought.
trying
because
to connect to something in the show.
because one of my professors or something, he was like a method actor, and he was in the subway playing a homeless person or something, and stayed in the subway.
happened?
I don't
I thought
know.
that was a
I
fucking
don't
myth.
know. But so just like that, where it's like maybe I'm not
But
getting
you hear
this.
that as a young actor, and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
maybe that's what I need. Like,
So I
go ahead.
So I
have
went
a
to my
point to make about
I went
this.
to my grandfather's grave to try and connect losing my like child girlfriend in the Spring Awakening
You're
show.
trying to find an emotional connection.
The
so that you
emotional
can cry,
connection,
essentially.
yeah. So the tears could be real, and that was like one instance where I was just like, I don't know. I mean, I figured out how to. It wasn't always good or whatever, but like as the shows went on, I realized like that's not like like it was. It's my one of my favorite comparisons is Don Rickles and Robert De Niro in what is it, Casino?
yeah.
In Casino. So one of the outtakes, Robert De Niro is like, looking through his lines, and he's like, and Don Rickles is like, what are you doing with the breathing and the bullshit? He was like, just say the lines and let's get out of here. And
That's
that
right.
always stuck
That's
with
right.
me.
He goes, what
where-
are you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
With the breathing.
What are
and
you
the-
doing with the
bullshit.
breathing and the bullshit?
But it's
just
true.
say the lines
like,
and let's get out
and
of here.
De Niro's one of those guys that was cut from that cloth of
Yeah.
like, and fuck, I'll listen.
Is incredible.
We were talking about before about how I did extra work on Men in Black 3. I saw Tommy Lee Jones do shit I was taught in acting class to warm up, and I was like,
yeah.
oh fuck. I'm like, well, there it is. But like at the same time, there's a big discussion now that I'm seeing of like method acting. I know a lot of people have come out and someone said something really good. What if it's a bad movie or a bad show?
Yeah.
What is
Why are
what
you
do you
gonna put
think
all
it's
that
gonna
effort
like? Why are
into?
you putting all that effort into it? And listen, I think there's some people that it's utilized. Like, listen, everybody wants to be Danny Day-Lewis, man. I get it. He's he's fucking great.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: that's probably not that may not work for you. Most of the time, if you want to do acting's a job, man. You're gonna do that for every role. You're gonna, like no, you save that shit for something that means something that's actually is meant for that.
Yeah, if you're like
Karate, man, it's martial arts. Figure out the style you like. But don't get hung up on being Jim Carrey because he fucking decided that he was going to throw a bowl of fucking spaghetti at Jerry Lawler. Didn't make it better. It's true though,
Yeah.
man. Like, and I'm sorry. Like, listen, I know actors out there, they take themselves very seriously, and I'm sorry to tell you that a lot of that shit just doesn't work for you. Like,
No.
like for some people, like our professor, that works for him, man. He came from an era where that was kind of the gig. And it still works for him. And but even he told me it's like it's a fucking craft.
Yeah, it's a
Just do
craft.
your job and go the fuck home.
Yeah.
Like, why are you like, I always tell people, I'm like, why are you wasting all this? Like you said, with the breathing and the bullshit. Like, it really is. It's like you're
Yeah.
wasting money on all these classes. You've been taking classes for fucking 7 years.
But some people, I guess, some people need to do it that way in order to maybe get to like that fully working level or
But some
something
people
like
are just
that.
trash no matter what, though. I'm sorry to
then
say it.
No, listen, there were some fucking people in college that I was just like, oh, you should be in a different major. You should be
Have you thought about accounting?
out of here. Like, this is not your thing. I don't know why you
I like
chose
the idea of you
this.
going up to people in theater and being like, all right, how do I
Yeah.
do this? Hey, you got any hobbies? Like,
Yeah.
what is it that you like to
It's
You
not
like
for
math? You like
Yeah.
math? That's there's a great math department.
There was one. Do you remember all like the weird people that would come around? They weren't affiliated with the theater department, but like they just hung out in there. Like they'd come from different buildings. There was this one kid, and he had
Like
like
the anime people.
yeah, well, yeah. There was a bunch of anime people, and then there was like this one guy who had like a full on mullet and wore like denim and had like a mustache, and he was like he would always like chain smoke Marlboro Reds outside. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm 25 and I had 2 heart attacks already." And it's just like,
That's not
what?
good,
I was like,
man.
"Why? Why are you? What brought you here? Like, cause we smoke. Like, we're not trying to get mullets and have 2
Dude,
heart attacks at
There
25.
was always those. I mean, it was
Like,
also community campus. You're going to see
community
some fucking,
campus,
as
yeah.
I refer to them as Earth mutants. They're gonna fucking,
yeah,
they're gonna wander in there.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know. It's also that courtyard attract. There was like, for everybody who knows, there was a courtyard in the college that we went to that everybody kind of smoked at, and it was
Yeah.
also like right next to a road that everybody would walk in. So it was just kind of like people would just kind of walk on and be like, "Hi, I'm fucking whatever," and it was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Tell you some weird story, and then we never see them again. We're like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Like,
Like,
who
man,
was
it's
that
like,
guy? What
I
was he
had
doing?
3 heart attacks. I was addicted to meth. I'm back here at school right now.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
I'm like 2 times. He always stayed in my mind. There was another guy that dressed up as Sora too.
there's a picture of that guy on the internet somewhere. I feel
and
bad, but
Link,
also it's kind of
yeah.
funny.
I forgot his.
There's a meme that somebody I saw. I remember finding it, and it just is a picture of that kid, and it just says vagina. What realm is that? And I remember being like, oh god. Like, but that's how Suffolk days, man, talked about so fondly.
Yeah.
That's where we went and studied theater. But I'm glad I don't go there anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
But that's where I met you. That's where I met
That's
you.
where we met.
And we started hanging out. And it was, I don't know, man. Like, you're one of those guys that I was like, oh, you get it. Because you had kind of gone through the motions of what you were just talking about before. Because a lot of people, they can't get their heads out of their asses and they think that they're way more important. Like, they're the people, you know what I mean? Like, especially if they're studying theater.
yeah.
Like, they're just very, oh, this. And they take themselves very, it's not that they think that, they just take themselves very seriously. And you were talented. I always thought you were a great actor,
Thank you.
great performer. And I liked hanging out with you, which was rare. Usually, if the super talented
Well,
person,
yeah.
I'd be like, this dude sucks.
No. I mean, listen. I can't. I can only speak for myself. I don't know how I came across. Like, if I'm missing something.
Came across like the greatest sidekick we ever had, man.
But I always thought that it was like, yeah, like I appreciated that I was able to be able to do those things, but I didn't really feel like I was like any better than anybody
Yeah,
else.
you
Like
remember
everybody
some
in the
of those
department, I
attitudes?
like to be friends with them or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, unless you want to like do me wrong or talk shit or something like that, then that's different. But like, I don't know. I don't have any reason to be
It's
like
such a weird
rude
world.
to anybody
Like,
like
I
that.
remember hearing a story about 2 people I knew that were dating, and then like they went to like like one of them went to like fucking college in the city. I think they went to Pace,
Mm.
and like they broke up because it was like, oh, I just figured we'd be getting our degrees together. I guess that's not happening, so I guess we're gonna break up.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
super weird.
that's weird and
That's so
stupid
weird.
to break up with somebody for that, and kind of psychotic.
But it's like some of those like young
But
loves. I
that's-
mean, those people are probably really screwed up now in life.
Yeah,
But like it's those young the things you do for young love or the ones you meet
God.
in college that you
You're
think
the
you're gonna be
stupid
with
shit
forever.
you would do for some girl
Yeah.
that you were convinced is like, no, this is it.
The
One. And then like 2 years goes by and you're like, well, it wasn't the one, it was a one.
Yeah.
It was, you know.
but it's like a
You'd always say you learned from it. It's like, no, it was a growing experience. I was meant to
I
be
don't know if it's
dumped
always a
and
growing
ruined by that
experience,
person.
but it's like a chapter in your life book or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's
Dating's
I
also
don't
just
know.
terrible. But like
Yeah, I don't know.
but yeah, like the stupid thing in college you would do for all those, you know, I know people who wrote poems. It's true. I know people who
I don't think
wrote
I ever wrote a
poems.
poem.
I've fucking like I used to fantasize. I was too afraid to do it. I would fantasize about writing poems. I'd be like, I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna put it on a black heart. I'm gonna put it in a locker or whatever the fuck. And like, no, I was so shy. I couldn't talk to girls, but I'd fantasize about this grand gesture that I would do. That I'd be like, yeah, that's good. And then I'd go to sleep and be like, I'm gonna be a better man in the morning. Start planning these fall and New Year's Eve balloons, right? Right at third period, it's gonna be great.
And
Like
then-
Max in fucking Goof Troop when he's power line, like that's in my head that I'd be like,
Yeah.
that's how I'm gonna win this girl over. And yet here I stand, or sit in my
Here I
friend's
am
apartment
once
talking to my other
again.
friends.
I'm torn into pieces.
Was that Kelly Clarkson?
Kelly Clarkson.
I love Kelly Clarkson. I don't love her, but I respect her.
Yeah.
I respect the game that she put on, and now
Yeah.
she's the talk show circuit queen.
Who is the guy?
Who-
Justin Guarini.
Yo, like there's a Dr. Pepper dude now.
I'm sorry.
You know the Dr. Pepper guy that's like a rocker?
That's
That's Justin Guarini. I found, yeah.
wait.
Did I just blow your mind?
Wait, the guy that's like, oh yeah, Dr. Pepper.
That's Justin Guarini. That's the second place winner of the original American Idol.
No.
Yes.
He's got the hair. He had the hair though.
He has the hair like this now.
That's
you
like,
okay?
yo, I can't believe I can't believe that.
You didn't know that? Yeah, that's him.
No.
I thought that's what you were gonna
And
say.
I also like it took me a second. The Dr. Pepper guy. I was like, is there a mascot? And then you were like the rocker, and I was like, oh yeah, the guy that's always like, oh yeah, you can have some Dr. Pepper. Yeah. And now it's like Justin Guarini from Justin to Kelly to Dr. Pepper Rockman.
the sequel.
Wow.
Just from Justin to Kelly and the sequel from Justin to Kelly
That
to talk show
is-
host and Rockman.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I looked it up. I heard it on some satellite show I was listening to. Somebody had mentioned, it's like, I think
Yeah.
that's Justin Guarini. I'm like, it is not the same reaction. I think it was like the bonfire or something. And like, I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's
Holy
Justin.
shit.
And then I just started going down a rabbit hole of American Idol, the show that changed America.
Yeah. Dude, me and my family used to call in.
You did?
Oh yeah, we were all about it, man. For
Oh,
several
man.
seasons.
My mom.
And my sister was big into David Archuleta, who was, I don't even remember season.
See,
like,
nobody
9 or
remembers
something.
any of these fucking
And we
people.
went and saw the concert at Nassau Coliseum.
No. Thought they did
Yeah.
a tour.
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know.
Nobody
who it
lost.
was.
The top 10
It might
people
have
went
been
on
like-
a tour.
Fucking Chris Daughtry. No, it wasn't.
Daughtry.
Daughtry.
Yeah, it was the beginning of Daughtry, bro.
Yeah. Oh, man.
We're simple.
I used to have a ringback tone that was Daughtry.
Which song?
I
It was,
think it was called.
all covers that
I
were good.
couldn't even tell you like how the song goes. It's but I know it's called "Used to" by Daughtry. So if you're listening to this, get out your
If we had the
Pandoras
rights
and your
to it,
Spotify's.
the song that
Yeah.
would play over this episode would be
Yeah.
Used To by
Did you ever have a
Daughtry.
ringback tone? Did you ever
Yeah,
get?
dude, I had all that shit.
Yeah, I had that. I had "This Is Why I'm Hot." This is why I'm hot. You remember that song? This is why I'm hot. And thanks for the memories, Fallout Boy.
I remember I had God, I remember
This is
somebody
wrong.
had "Toxic" by Britney Spears, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
really cool to hear on the. But it was like the MIDI. I had a flip phone, so it was like.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like an 8-bit version of
Yeah,
it.
somebody had the
like-
Transformers theme. I remember what I had fucking Cowboys from Hell, which sounded like crap on the MIDI thing. And then I also had the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme. I remember that. And the DX theme. Because that's what I watched a lot of wrestling, particularly at that time.
Okay.
And it was like, are you it wasn't it didn't say like, are you ready? It was like and it just sounded like a fucking robot puking.
Yeah, like it was made on a
Yeah, and then
1980s
eventually,
computer.
but then eventually you got the one that had the actual song on it. You're like, oh,
Oh,
my God, it
shit.
sounds like the song.
Things change the future.
Yeah, that's why I'm so like
And then
technologically
Steve
retarded.
Jobs was like, I've got a phone,
It does everything.
I've got a web browser, and I've got an email or
And I've
something,
got
something
cancer.
like that. Yeah, and
All
it's
in All in one.
yeah.
Sorry, I gotta go for it.
Oh.
It's like, but oh
Too
man, how did we
soon.
get on that? That was good. I was just fucking riffing, having fun.
What, Steve Jobs?
No,
death?
we were talking about. Damn it, Chris is gonna hate me. I keep bumping the mic. That's good. No, where were we? We were going from. I was talking about theater school and everything, and you getting up in that, and that's how I met you. All right, whatever. We're gonna move on.
We lost touch for a while though,
We did.
because I moved into the city and
You moved to. You were in Queens for a while.
was in Queens for
But
a
I would
while.
always call you
Yeah.
and leave you messages, been like, "I'm still your friend, dude."
Yep.
Because like I would go through these long. When I was successful in the acting that I was doing, it was like it was that thing where I was like, because I would go to California for like 2 months out of the year,
Mhm.
I'd come back and I try to get some extra work and everything. So it was a lot of just like not, seeing a lot of people. And I had memories with you. We had fun. Remember
Oh,
that
yeah.
huge ass house party that our mutual friend would throw
That was
that I'm leaving out because a lot of
one
fucking,
of the best weeks of my life.
Yeah.
And it's because the party itself was for that week of my life.
Yeah.
It was like a 5-day long
It was a real fest. It was yeah.
Extravaganza,
I don't want to
like-
put any names out there, but it was one of the till to this day. I say I'm like
Bradley.
I don't. Yeah, it's Bradley Fest.
Bradley Cooper Fest.
Bradley. We went to. I repeat. Bradley Cooper said we can come to his 5-day house party.
He wanted to recreate the movie The
Robert De
Hangover.
Niro Fest. Marlon Brando Fest. He was still alive. No.
Marlon Brando, just wearing a muumuu.
Come inside, have some beer. I got a Pabst Blue Ribbon on top.
That's the first time I've ever done that. But yeah, it was this huge ass house party, and it was just like I still can't. I remember this party. It was in this house. This was so massive at one point. You had friends that started to DJ.
Yeah, I had friends that yeah, a guy was like a self-taught DJ, but he had all the equipment, and I think I said to the guy running it, I was like, hey, you want to DJ for tonight or something? Like, can my friends come through and they'll bring DJ equipment? And he was like, yeah, sure. So they fucking set up in the basement, and I mean, they played for
It was a full rave. He had
it
like
was
a
a full
3-hour
rave.
set.
Yeah, they had like the lights, the fog machine,
Yeah.
and I remember going down. It was like
I remember walking through the house, and I was just like, and there was a pool party outside. Everybody was in the house ripping bong hits. It was literally a scene out of Animal House. I cannot stress
or
this
like,
enough.
what do they
I'm not,
say? What was that movie? Project X.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't that. I mean, it wasn't that
people didn't,
crazy,
like,
but
die
it
and
was
there weren't
like,
cops. But it was one of those things where
yeah.
I don't think I ever went to a party like that.
No, it was like
after
the
that,
idea of like that was when people say that was an insane house party, I'm like, that was an insane.
Yeah.
It was because everybody we knew was there.
Yeah.
That was another thing. Like everybody we knew, and we were in college at the time, so all the college kids came. But then there was like people from the bar. But we were one of those people because we hung out with the guy that lived there.
Mhm.
So it was like we knew everybody.
Yeah.
You had met a couple of people from the
Yeah,
bar.
because I was able to go in for like
Yeah.
karaoke nights and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
You came
yeah.
and kind of hung out, so you knew. So it
This
was
is-
just like everybody was like Mike, and you're like, hey,
Yeah, and everybody was cool with each other.
yeah,
Like, it
exactly.
wasn't like
and it was fucking booze and
yeah.
fucking drugs everywhere.
it's crazy.
I know, and I still can't believe that. I remember we lit the lawn on fire one year.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
oh my God, like it was insane.
lawn.
Like it was just like
He was remember somebody he ended up being on the roof and somebody like threw him a beer, like threw a
Yeah, he
beer at
caught
him.
it. It's
He
the greatest
yeah,
thing
it was the coolest
I've ever seen. It's the coolest thing
ever.
He knows who he is when he's listening to this. It's the coolest fucking thing
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Is he was on the roof, and somebody threw a beer at him. He caught the full beer.
Yeah, it wasn't like to him, like somebody
No,
like wanted
he's
it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin did. And like got the whole and that's what we
Everybody-
mean when we like Project X. Like that's that shit. Or
Yeah.
like who's that movie? I'm a Golden God. That one. Almost Famous.
Oh, I've
yeah,
never seen
thank you,
Almost.
Chris. Almost Famous. It was that moment, and I'm like, this is. I don't know, like, cause I had like there was like cool high school parties, but we were like fucking white kids that lived in rural New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was
It
just kind of a lot
was-
of drinking beer in the woods.
Yeah.
But this was like a house party.
This was yeah.
Yeah,
This-
I remember walking through and being like, it was a full-on pool party, which people. It was like another, not a DJ, but there was like a big boombox set up.
Oh,
And then you went into the house and people were like hitting bong hits, and you went to the basement. I'm like, I remember going to the dude who
Full-on
owned the house
rave,
and just
like-
being like, yo, man, like you have like 3 separate parties going on
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, he had sections.
Yeah, he had sections like, what did you buy tickets for?
Yeah. Do you have the wristband for
You have
everything?
the wristbands for it. You can't go to the rave. It's 4 hours.
Yeah.
Once you come back out, you can't go back in.
Yep.
Hey, a lot of people's girlfriends are in there, okay?
A lot
What
of
can I do
people's
about it, man? I just gotta watch the door. Did you buy a ticket for a cup for the bar? No? All right, you gotta talk to the owner, man. Yo, Steve, you want to throw him out?
Yeah. Oh
it
my
was,
God.
and it was weird because like it was loud.
Yes.
And we to this day we're just like, how did this party not get fucking shut down?
Yeah.
How did it not get shut down?
I don't know.
I remember walking with you, smoking cigarettes around the house, and just being like, "There's shit everywhere."
I think when you guys were you guys were doing the summer like Shakespeare show.
Yeah,
And
that's
there
what it always. This was the best.
There was one
You
of
would
the
always do it around, and the party was that week.
Yeah.
You know, it was we would do this. I won't say we won't say the exact same, but we were doing a show this is when I was doing theater. There was a show that ran on Long Island, and it was Shakespeare, and we were always a part of it. And we would always. It was the week we would be up all night. And then I remember having to show up at rehearsal and being like 5 minutes late, and he'd make me do push-ups, and I'm like, God damn it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungover, just like pushing, like oh my God, and I have to like fucking do Shakespeare and fight, and I'm like, that's why I like being a comedian because you can drink
Yeah.
and smoke and do drugs, and it's beneficial to your
But I wasn't in that show, so I would clean up. Like I'd stay over. And
Yeah,
then
that's
I'd,
right.
like,
You stayed at the
yeah,
house for a week.
Stayed at the house for a week.
I'm
I'd,
like,
stop
where's?
home every once in a while. My mom's like, "You like good?" And I'm like,
Well,
"Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never been better,
let's
actually.
I'm going party for the week.
Yeah, party for a week. I'm just gonna go back over there
Happens
for
all
like
the
3
time.
days.
Yeah.
I remember waking up and being because Jane, like, oh, it was fucked up.
What?
Nothing. Beep that. I remember
Oh.
he had to memorize lines for something.
Mm.
And like it was one of the mellow nights, but he like we still drank till like 3-4 in the morning, but then he memorized the lines to show up for the part. It's one of the champion things, man.
Yeah.
God, I miss those. That I don't get nostalgic about those days a lot. I just miss that party.
No, but
Like,
yeah, there are definitely like
if I could
certain
go back to that party,
Yes.
that one we were at for that week,
Yes.
where everybody was like, "Oh my God."
Everything it was the planets all aligned.
Yeah.
And it was just
Nothing bad happened.
It was Woodstock, baby. It was Woodstock.
Woodstock,
it
baby.
was 5 days of nothing but peace, love, and mud.
So anyway, this is how I'm interviewing Mike right now. So, but then all that, so we lost touch for a little bit, but then you came back into my existence.
Yeah, there was a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Saw you at the Halloween party, and then it was just like, dude, like we gotta hang out, and it was like, and we did.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, well, I promised you. I
Yeah.
said I have to go to Georgia. When I come back, we're gonna hang out.
Yeah.
And I went to Georgia for a wedding, and I came back, and I said we're gonna hang out, and we did.
we hung out.
Because again, you have like, I'm like, I have a lot of memories. I get that way with people, you know? Like, I'm like, I have a lot of memories. I don't want to give up. I can, like, sometimes you look back, you're like, that guy's my friend. And then you look back and I'm like, I think that guy was actually an asshole to me the whole time. But, like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're like, no, we had like some high school friends. You're like, no, we had good memories.
Oh, yeah.
Man, he did try to fuck my mom that one time.
Oh, that
But, I would just like, yeah, we hung out. And that's when you told me you started doing stand up.
yeah,
And, I know it took us,
because
we're going to go a little over for this one because I want to get this full story out, but not by much.
there was a guy that used to own a pizza place where I lived, like at the end of my block. So when I was a kid, I went in there and got slices and stuff and told him that I did acting and stuff. And he was a nice guy, whatever. And years later, I went into a bar with an ex-girlfriend, and he's doing a stand-up show. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, hey, man, it's so good to see you. This is, like 13 years later or something like that. He was like, oh, do you still do the acting? And I was like, yeah, I do the acting, not so much right
Yeah, a lot of
now or
people ask
whatever.
that.
And he was like, well, would you ever want to try and do stand-up? And I was like, oh, yeah, I would actually. I've never, yeah. So first time I did it, I completely blacked out. I don't remember like not like from drinking or anything like that.
You just don't
it was
remember.
total-
I've had stuff like that.
that was the first
happen.
time in my life. Like
Do you remember getting
we
laughs
brought
at
a
all?
show to the KCACTF, the Kennedy Center thing. That was in front
it's
of like
a festival. for
700
who don't
people.
know.
We did that show, and I was on cloud 9, and I remember the whole thing. I was in front of like 13 people on a snowy night at a
Terrifying.
bar in Mount Sinai, but because I didn't have the script, I wasn't playing a character. It was just me. It was all me. Something happened, and I just like blanked. So people were like, "Oh, you were funny," and I was like, "All right,
What
if
did I
you
do?"
Say, yeah, if you
Yeah.
say so." But I tried to. So But I panicked after that, and so the next time I did it, all the jokes were from other comedians. I stole fucking everything. Nobody,
A lot of
I
people
wasn't
did. It was
getting paid
one-liners.
for
It
it.
was like a norm
Yeah.
joke you'd said
Yeah,
there.
I did a Norm joke. I did a Ricky Gervais joke. But
You had that's your reference point.
what it
yeah.
did was it kind of put like training wheels back on me to be able to go up there. So every time I did a show after that, I'd take out one of those and I'd put in one of my own. And then eventually I was able to,
I think a lot of people do
get
that
rid of
in
all
its own
those.
ways.
And now, so when I told you about it, I was like, I think, you'd be great. I think you should come to an open mic. And then you were like, yeah, I have a journal full of like jokes I wrote. And I was like,
just
well,
write
what the fuck are you
thoughts.
doing, man?
I
I was like,
I always looked at stand up as impossible to do.
yeah,
Like what you said. There's no script. There's nothing. I had done theater for so long, and I'd just kind of got fed up with theater.
yeah.
And I wasn't applying myself to it as much as I should have been for like anybody that was. I was like low level doing stuff and wasn't making a whole lot of money, and I could have pushed myself more, and I stopped doing it. I got lazy.
Mm.
But like stand up, I looked at it. I'm like, that seems impossible to me to do. No script, no safety net, no nothing. I mean that. Turns out I love it.
Yeah.
But I love it even more. I like writing. But you were the one that went to me, and I was like, "You think?" And I'm like, "All right." And you get to a certain age when you say stuff out loud, and it's like past 30. I know no, I started when I was 29. I didn't start when I was 30.
Comedy?
Yeah, no, I started when I was 30.
I don't know.
Man, I'm trying to remember when I saw you again.
Well, it was like 2018.
Oh, okay. So I was like 31, 30, I think, like that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I've been doing it 4 or 5 years. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, isn't that crazy? You're the one, and yeah, like 4.5, 5 years, and even now I look at it, and it's just like I would say, Mike Fales is the reason that I do this, and I've always been in awe of comedians. I was telling somebody before, I'm like, I had George Carlin albums that I memorized. That's when I learned to say the word cocksucker. Yeah, it's great. I learned how to curse. That's from comedy. I learned how to curse from fucking Shakespeare. I learned how to curse
Yeah.
from comedy. It's so much better. I remember the first time I heard the word cunt, I'm like, that's amazing.
What a
That's
word.
that's the dirtiest word
Yeah.
ever.
And then you find out over in England, they just use it all the time, and it's like
Yeah.
not offensive, and you're like, "What? Bring it over here!
Bring it over here. I love this here. And they're like, we hate Americans. And I'm like, shit.
Shut up, cunt!"
And they're like, we mean it in the bad way. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn it. But that's like our motherfucker. Like that's motherfucker to us is like a term of endearment. But yeah, I liked it. I always thank you because I'm like, I like the acting a lot and I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. I get just like it. I've always been in awe of comedians. I've always watched a ton of comedy specials. I went out of my way to go. I remember seeing Dane Cook at the height of Dane Cook. That was crazy.
Wow.
Because I saw him when he was like, this is Dane Cook, not like when he was like, I remember watching Comedy Central Presents, and it was like, him doing the middle finger and being like, what are you going to do, blurt it out? Or whatever the fuck.
yeah.
It was the first special, and then he blew up after that.
He was in like a black tank top or
yeah,
something.
he was in a tank top.
He did something with like Alien, and he like put water all over him.
Yeah.
Or something. Oh, yeah.
And he was like,
Fucking love those.
yeah,
Comedy
it was a
Central
great
Presents.
special.
Yeah.
And I remember always being a fan, but it just seemed so impossible to me because it was like, you have to write your own stuff. Like, I don't know if I can remember all that shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird. It's like also like who am I? Like when I go up there, am I a
You have
Bill
to know who
Maher?
you
Am I
are.
a political comic? Am I Carrot Top? Am I a fucking prop comic? Am I
observational.
topical?
like-
yeah,
like more
topical,
Jerry
observational.
Seinfeld-ish.
Is it straight jokes? Is it
Insult comic.
insult comic, impressionist?
That's really,
you
and I don't know, like it's weird because like I get a lot of it's like I don't say fetishized, but like it's fantasized. You realize how much I'm like I know I'm a fucking cisgender white man doing comedy, but like it when you start doing it, then that's you look at it from a different lens, and you're like, oh, it's like I didn't understand how to write a joke until probably the last year. Like I get it now.
Yeah.
Like I had things but like now I kind of understand it more than I did 3 years ago. And everybody kind of fetishizes the idea of being a comedian too. So you get a lot of friends that come up to you and be like, "What's it like?" And I'm like, "It's just."
know
You
what I
just do
noticed?
it a
A lot
lot.
of people that I'm like, oh, I do stand up. They're like, oh, you probably talk about us on your stand up shows.
No, I
And
don't.
it's like, no, not
I
at
get
all.
that a lot. I get
You
this a
know?
lot. You can have that one for free. I'm like, yeah, that's what I needed. This bar
Oh,
joke has been
yeah.
passed down from grandfather to grandfather
Yeah.
since
yeah.
you were fucking blown out of your fucking grandfather's sack or whatever.
Thank you for that. You smell like Budweiser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get this. I get those guys after shows that are just like, I'm pretty funny
Yeah.
myself. Hey, come over here. I did a little stand up a couple of years ago. It was at my brother's wedding. But
yeah.
they always like sit there, and I'm like, and I don't think I'm better than anybody. It's just like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like,
A guy comes into the restaurant, always picks up food, and he's always got jokes. And it's like,
yeah.
the the black jokes, the Mexican jokes, the Asian jokes, like all of those like stereotypical, like, what do you call a blah 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 with a blah blah blah, a
Yeah.
blah blah blah, like the ones you've heard them, I mean, for your entire life.
God.
And it's just like, if I have to fake laugh one more time
Oh,
to
man.
get this
The
guy
bartender
out of
laugh?
the door, oh my God, like it's
Just to get a fucking $5 tip.
Oh yeah,
That's a really
Not
good
even,
one,
it's,
Carl.
he just like hangs around and he's like, "What do you call it?" Blah, 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 blah. I'm
You're
like,
like, that's awful. Thank you for telling me
yeah.
that.
What do you? Oh God, it's because it's just like they're not funny.
No.
Like that, the first time you heard them when you were 13, maybe you'd be like, "Oh, shoot!"
Yeah, that's what I mean. Stuff.
But I haven't found it funny since then, and I've known about it since then, and I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
not.
No, that's what I mean. And
Not my
like, it's
cup of
weird
tea.
because like you can like, there's some people that like do that stuff. Like they come up and like they're like, I'm funny, and I'm like, yeah, you're not. Like,
Yeah, no.
you're annoying because I never go out of my way. Anybody goes out of their way to be funny. You're just like a ham at that point to me and everything. Like
Yeah, I mean,
it's like in day-to-day life, and I'm like, it's 7 a.m.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
come down, like get me at lunch. Give me that again at lunch, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to be on all the time. And I've struggled with like the idea of like when I started, I'm like, I have to be on all the time, and I'm just like, no, I don't.
Oh yeah,
Nope. I
Me-
don't have to be on all the time.
me
I'm
too,
gonna
I'm
write
all-
what pops into me. I'm just gonna be me.
Yeah.
Because that's part of like I think that's part of developing an act too.
should everything be a bit?
No,
No, it doesn't have. Not everything has
Sometimes
to
something
be
isn't a bit.
No.
But like you watch like podcasts with like more famous comedians, and you're just like, you see them, they're like, does everything I did? I just burped into the fucking. Did you get that?
You watch these podcasts with the other comedians, and you just.
But they even say that like everything doesn't have to be a bit.
Yeah, no,
Even when you burp into the phone, we don't have to make that a bit.
it wasn't a bit.
It wasn't. We
Wasn't
just
a bit.
acknowledge
No,
it. We
we
moved on.
acknowledge it and we move
Moved
on.
Exactly. But if it's something ridiculous,
Yeah.
and you're like, I hang on to this for a little bit. And you do a little bit of stand up, like the stuff that you developed. I really like.
I have.
You have the story about shrooms.
Yeah, so
know?
I think I don't know. I feel like I've kind of taken like a bit from every kind of thing. Like I have stories, I have like quick ones, I have the impressions. Because I don't know, I
Are
don't.
you still kind of figuring out what kind of like in that entertainment spectrum, like where
I think I'm everything.
you think you're a little bit.
I don't. I
I'm
don't.
good at
I don't-
everything.
I don't mean like I am everything. I am the universe, and if you haven't
Come on.
subscribed to me, what are you doing? No, I think like like
'Cause you're definitely an entertainer. I've said that about you for
yeah,
so
I think
long.
that's what it is. I think that it's what it's always been. I just like
A
to,
Bo
if
Burnham.
I can make you laugh, maybe this one will make you laugh, but that one won't. But this one did. There's those. I don't know. It's just kind of like a fun. I don't know.
You're juggling.
A juggler? Yeah,
you're
no,
like,
I'm not a juggler. But no, I think like entertainer is probably like the best way to do it. Whatever can make
like
somebody
you are
happy.
in the
like-
terms of like what like the most old school terms I can say of like what it meant to be like, what do you do? I'm in the entertainment business. Like that to me is like,
yeah.
we always joke about how we would have been probably like famous and working if we were born in the 60s. You have that joke where you're talking about if you were famous, you could be in the 70s. You'd be
Yeah,
like, I'd
yeah.
be world
But now
famous.
it's like, we're being blown out by million views on YouTube of tall grass being cut.
Tall grass being cut.
I
or the,
can't compete
yeah,
with
people
tall grass.
trying different Cokes.
Yeah, no, that's literally what it is. It's like, this one's Diet Coke
Yeah,
with lemon.
that's your
What does
joke.
it taste like? Tastes like Diet Coke with a little bit of lemon. Next, what do we got here?
Oh, it tastes like fucking Diet Coke again, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
And there's how many videos of this? Oh, there's 300 of these?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
but
New formula for Coke, Diet Coke.
crazy Russian hacker.
Oh my God.
What's
but yeah,
up, everybody? They were going to try different flavor Coca-Cola.
we're at war at Russia right now. We can't be doing. You can't watch Crazy Russian Hacker
Well,
anymore.
this is in May.
That's right.
We don't know what happened.
All right, maybe.
What's happened?
I hope it's over.
I hope everybody's okay.
I hope
Putin and
everybody's
Zelensky
okay.
shook hands, kissed on the lips, and walked away from each other. And everything's settled. And North Korea, they just decided to fill all their bombs with flowers.
Why are you talking like
Nice.
the movie phone guy?
Nice bouquets of flowers. Let's hope that the earth isn't destroyed in May.
Yes. So, and I like you. I like that aspect. Like, that's right there. Would you just kind of, you're entertaining. You kind of seize the moment. You're funny.
Thanks.
You're in the spur of the moment. You're like because you're a good actor too. You're just in the entertainment business. It's like I do it all. That's what people used to do back then.
Yeah, I don't
What
think
do you do? I dance. I sing. I do this. I can
I
ride a
don't
horse.
think
You
I'm
mean
like
ride a
a
horse?
master at any of them,
remember-
but I like to do all of them.
Like like if you look at old movies, you had to like horse if you wanted to be a successful actor. That's
Yeah.
what you needed to learn. Things change all the time. You know what you need now? A TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, anybody can be an actor. So I always tell people,
A
it's like,
ring light.
you know, a ring light
Yeah.
and a fucking makeup tutorial.
And that's what it is. Like, there's just a big divide in terms of like actual entertainment and then content.
And what's good?
Content. That word, I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create content. It's like, no, girl in leggings.
Yeah.
With that's what I see on the Instagram.
It's the same video
I'm
of them
not
shaking their ass.
subscribed to anything like that, but the suggested video of a girl turned around diagonally with these leggings that look that make it, I mean, it's just a different colored full butt.
Yeah.
Like you could, that's the crack and everything. And then they just bounce 2 times, and then that's the video's over.
10 seconds.
I'm like, what?
It's the same video
what
every
is
time in a
this?
different outfit.
What? Yeah, it's. I don't know. It bugs the shit out of me.
It bugs me too, and it's the same. And with like dudes, it's just like some
and
dude.
it's not just women
No, it's
in
not.
leggings.
That's what I'm making the point. It's
Yeah.
not just women. It's
some
guys too.
douchebag guy trying to show you how to make chicken fajitas really quick.
Oh my
Like,
god!
I don't care.
If I have to see one more food fucking video, I'm gonna drive to their house and just fucking like kill their dad, marry their mom, and start a whole new family.
And that voice too, do you know where it's like, learn how to make easy chicken fajitas? Like
Oh,
where
yeah, it
it's
sounds
like
like-
dubbed over. Yeah. It's like, learn how to bury your mother alive in the backyard.
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
it's and then it's like a quick video of them like digging dirt really quick, and it's like, what the fuck?
Fuck,
What is this?
How am I learning how to cook? Like this
Yeah.
is stupid. This is just visually stimulating for the sake of being visually
Yeah,
stimulating.
I don't
Like
understand.
this isn't.
it.
I mean, do you remember? Like people complain about movies being too long, and I'm like, they used to take time to make film. Going to the movies, you'd watch a 3-hour movie because you had to watch a story unfold and characters. Now people are complaining that the Batman is 3. First of all, it's Batman. 3 hours of Batman. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Like
I
you're
was okay with it.
complaining. Like and then because of the TikTok, it's like little videos on there. And listen, I've gone down the rabbit hole. I am not sitting here saying I am better than anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying like this can't last. You know what I mean? It's like the attention span has to
No.
break at some point.
I mean, 10 years down the line, is it just going to be like these like quick images?
Yeah.
Like,
Is it just going to be
see, like,
blinking?
it's just like ding, ding,
That's
ding.
TV now.
Yeah, and
That's how we
it's- you're
process
just-
it.
And your eyes are rolled in the back of your head, and you're looking
Just
inside
one
your brain.
handshake instead
and
of
it's-
2.
Yeah,
Bump, bump.
yeah.
bump.
It's just like big titties and chicken fajitas
I know,
and
big titties and chicken fajitas.
and like, oh my god.
That's what I mean. Yeah, just yeah, you're right. That's all fucking that shit is big titties, chicken fajitas, leggings,
Yeah.
and dance videos. And I'm like, oh my god, like
And it just
it's an algorithm. It's the same thing over and over again.
and there's so much of it. I mean,
Remember
where
you
do they?
so like I say this. It's like how do you I can have a hard time really into TikTok because I used to be able to go into a video store and look at a shelf and everything was different.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, please see the reference I'm making here. It's like you have the world at your fingertips. Yet I felt like I got more when I was fucking 13 looking at a rack of horror movies from the 80s.
Yes.
That's fucking strange to me. You know,
Because you got to look at the ones that you wanted to, like all these things. And
you
I
got
don't
to
know.
take a leap on shit.
I don't know if you've noticed on like Instagram and stuff, like when you're scrolling, like halfway, like if people haven't posted like within the last time that you like opened your app or whatever, it goes from the people you follow to like suggested videos.
Yeah,
And
real
then
quick.
you have that option where it's like view older posts, but
Yeah.
you kind of skimp over it, and then all of a sudden you're just
All of a
in
sudden
that
you're down.
fucking
You
rabbit
don't even
hole.
realize it.
Yeah, and then I'm watching these things that I don't want to watch. I have taken my phone and like threw it down and sighed.
too.
Been like, oh, why? Why did I let myself do that again?
You're right. I've done it too.
It's so
Where I
frustrating.
sit there and I look at it and I'm like, "Ah, why am I like this?
Yeah,
And like, what am I doing?
Yeah,
What am I? I'm not bettering myself. I'm not even making a sandwich right
no,
now.
I'm
I
not.
can't even.
I'm not doing anything.
That's
I'm not
what I mean, and that's what drives.
Contributing. I'm not. And I'm not saying
Listen,
you have
I'm
to
not
contribute
like
to the
hard
world
work.
all the
Listen,
time.
I'm not one of those people, but I'm like,
No,
it's
but-
not. It's not content. Like, what is content? The word is. It's like.
Yeah.
It's. Listen, I'm not saying that like good for you for trying on leggings and doing your videos and all that stuff. You figured something out that I didn't.
Yeah.
You probably make a lot of money doing that. But don't.
I can't believe your wife fell for the prank.
Oh my god! Any more of those videos?
I don't know.
That's what I mean. It's not like. You remember watching But listen, you remember watching Idiocracy, and it's just like,
Yes.
ouch, my balls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I sit here and watch fail videos,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm part of the problem.
Fail videos.
I
Yeah.
watch fail videos and people getting hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But people who've been doing that for years.
I
I'm a
know.
Jackass fan,
And
man.
honestly, it hurts me to say this, but even the tall grass videos, they're part of the problem
They are.
too. I
Because
hate to say that because I love them so much, but
Are you like me? Do you get you sit down there and you're like, I'm gonna watch a movie tonight, and you go on like Netflix or something. All of a sudden, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I don't. I'm
yeah.
gonna go watch Grass.
But the difference between like Netflix and like the actual racks on the shelves is I'd pick something eventually. You know, like
Yeah, because you have to. There's tangibleness to
it's
it.
it's I have to
just
walk,
turn
I
the
have to walk out with the thing. You
Yeah.
know, if I don't like Netflix, I can go to Hulu or Disney Plus
Yeah,
or
there's
something
options.
or YouTube or whatever.
But I may not watch anything. I'll be on YouTube watching fucking ghost stories.
yeah, things I
5-minute
don't
videos.
want to watch just to fill. I think also, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't like the silence. Like I'm always trying to like
White noise.
have my head filled with music or
I've been listening to more. I have
talking
been
or
listening to more music lately. When I come home from work, I now digress by just listening to at least an hour of music. I don't have anything on. I just kind of sit
that's
there.
good.
I'll have a cigarette. I'll smoke a joint or some shit like that. And I'll just be like, oh, I'm just kind of sitting. I have I made a 24-hour playlist. I just put it on.
Cool.
Always a different song.
Mhm.
And I make it eclectic. And I'm just because if I just watch something, I'm just like,
Yeah. When I put music on, it makes me do stuff around like the house. Like I'll rake with my music on or something. Like I like to.
I like music too.
Yeah, it's just like I guess it's like it motivates me. Like I'll be in like a down mood and I'll hear like a song that's like funky as hell, and then all of a sudden it's like, like you can't just not dance to it, and then you're up, and then you're like, oh shit, maybe I could do this. And
Yeah.
you just funk walk your way around the house.
Yeah, because you turn off the voices in your head.
Yeah, I don't know.
So. But we're going over here. I think we have to wrap it up now. I wanted to go a little long for this one.
All right.
So,
Cool.
I would love to have you back on, Mike.
Yeah,
we
I'd
only
love
got
to.
a little. We don't off on tangents that happens on the show.
Yeah.
But we still got some fat. That is a crazy. Some of the saddest story about being driven home by a janitor I've ever heard.
Yeah, fucked me up for a while, man.
No,
That's why I did
think that
heroin.
Derailed me. I'm like, oh, we don't have to talk anymore, buddy. Well, it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that at the end. Anyway, we'll be back next week, part 2. Mike Fales, the Heroin Diaries.
Stay tuned.
We got to put it close to a Billy episode so they can be like, bring more fucked up people on.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Oh,
I'll have you and Billy on. You guys can compare stories.
that'd be fun. I would love to do that.
But thanks for coming on, Mike.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
We have a show tonight. My
Red Zone Bar
plugs.
and Grill.
I gotta do plugs
Tonight,
real quick.
April 16th at 8 p.m. You guys won't be there because this airs in May.
This airs in May. So,
This airs in May.
ladies and gentlemen, this
Ladies and
is a
gentlemen.
pre-recorded broadcast.
Brought to you by the PBS.
and Colgate Light.
From viewers like you.
I
Thank
got
you.
plugs to do real quick, but this is coming out in May, so you're gonna get them pre-recorded later when I get closer to this date. All right, guys, thanks for tuning into Millennial Stone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I look forward to the next one. Keep those views up, like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe for them big old titties and the chicken fajitas.
Big old titties and chicken. It's nothing but titties and chicken. That's gonna be the name of this episode. Titties and chicken fajitas.
Yeah, hey, not a bad one.
Oh man. All right, bye guys.